Hey everyone, Adam Savage here in my cave with a tool tip about a class of tools. Sometimes I'm revealing to you really cool tools that I like or tools you might not know about, things like Forstner bits, etc. However, today I'm going to talk about a tool that we all have in our shop. I'm just going to tell you what I think the best version is. And today we're going to talk about Allen wrenches. Allen wrenches are small hexagonal wrenches for unscrewing Allen screws and bolts. There you go. That's pretty straightforward. Now, if you're like me, and let's go take a walk over here. If you're like me, you end up with a lot of Allen wrenches because they often come with tools that you buy. So here is what a lot of people end up with in their shop is a collection of random sizes of Allen wrenches. By the way, the most common size that I have found happens to be 4 millimeters. 4 millimeters seems to be the one that ships with every frickin' tool. But there are Allen wrench sets that you can buy. Handheld sets, long sets, short sets. In all the time that I have been using Allen wrenches, I have a favorite kind, and I'm going to talk to you about it. Laid out in front of me are a set of imperial Bondhus T-handled Allen wrenches. These are the kind I learned to use in Jamie's shop. He's had sets of these forever, since I worked for him in the early 90s. And there's a couple of things I really like about these. Number one, even the small sizes, I have not had them strip out. For the most part, any Allen key that fits a screw that you're supposed to undo, they will work. They are made to varying manufacturing grades, and some are super close and some are not, but for the most part, they work just fine. But in the edge cases where you have a really recalcitrant Allen key or Allen screw or a set screw that you've got to undo, these Bondhus I have never had strip out on me. I've never had their corners round. I've never had them break an Allen head. Not to say that you can't do it. I've just said these are made of particularly hard steel, and I really dig that. Two, I really like, and I get a lot out of the ball end. The ball end allows you to actually get purchase on an Allen key from multiple angles rather than just from right above it. I also love the construction of these. I like their weight. They feel substantial. This is a piece of steel welded to the main shaft and then plastic dipped. Each size is actually written on the side. I will tell you after several years that wears away. Allen wrenches are one of these things. It's like if I see a bolt in my car, I can usually go get the right socket for it. But Allen keys, never, ever do I grab the right Allen wrench for the Allen bolt, ever. It's always one size up or one size down. There is a third thing that I love about these Bondhus wrenches. But first, I'm going to show you how much I love them. Because, when you're working on a tool like a milling machine, there are Allen keys all over the milling machine. There are some in the vise and for adjustment and for actually tramming it in. Allen keys are a totally critical tool. So I actually keep the set that's on the workbench right now. The set actually lives here right on the right side of my mill. So I have constant access to them. That's how important it is to me for my flow state while machining to have Allen wrenches nearby. It's also important to me when I'm using the lathe. So I have a second set over here at the lathe. I know, this seems really indulgent. It is one of the things I spent TV money on back when I was making TV money. A full set of imperial and metric Bondhus Allen wrenches. But wait, there's more. Also, within my first order retrievability stack of mission critical tools, you will notice another set of imperial and metric Allen keys made by Bondhus. This is how much I truly love these keys. And to note, I'll grab one of the big ones over here at the lathe. On the lathe, I use slightly shorter ones. And this is another thing that I like about the Bondhus. So here's a shorty, here's a longie. So you have a lot of options with these. This doesn't have the ball end. That was less important on the lathe when I use it. But I told you there was one other thing that I loved about these Bondhus Allen keys, and it's this. Because of the sturdy, hardy, welded steel construction and the heavy weight of this, these make fabulous little impromptu thwackers. Yup, in every Bondhus Allen key, there is a hammer. And I dig that about these. In fact, you can see how much on the lathe I use it as a hammer. Is like I'm actually wearing away the plasti dip here because of how many times I've whacked this. I use these all over the place. When you're clamping something into a vise on the mill, it's good to kind of give it a little hammer to make sure it's sitting right on those parallels. These are fabulous for that. So, look, with any tool, I'm not saying these are the best ones that are made because your particular use case might be way more specific than mine. It might be very different. And maybe you need a lot of smaller Allen wrenches, in which case you can buy them down to surpassingly tiny sizes. But for your basic shop set, if you can afford it, these are my all-time favorite Allen wrenches. Thanks, that's another tool tip. See you next time here at the cave. Bye, everybody.